time for the Dr. Tongie Show.
Hey, you're on the air with Dr. Tongie. Talk to me.
As soon as I hear your voice, Dr. Tongie, my day is better.
Hey, Dr. Tongie. I took your advice and made some changes in my life. And you know what? I've been winning ever since. Thank you for your advice.
Now, here's Dr. Tongie.
Hey, this is Dr. Tongie, and I want to thank you so very much for tuning in today. This is our very first show. And if you know anything about me, I am sitting on pins and needles, and I am excited, and I am thankful, and I am grateful. And before I do anything, I must dedicate this show to God Himself. How about that? Who would have thought 26 years ago, after going through cancer and not knowing exactly what cancer was and what was going on in my life, and just believing that there's got to be more to life than this. I was 22 years old and 3 children and married and scared. But all of my life, I knew that I knew that I was destined for greatness, but I didn't know what greatness was. So since you're tuning in, I think I'll tell you a little bit about me, and then I'll open up and I'll listen for others to tell about themselves. But I am from Columbus, Mississippi. And if you know anything about Mississippi, it is a small little town, little state rather, Columbus being a small town. And just, oh my gosh, it's one of those places that you don't know that you don't have until someone tells you what you don't have. I was raised by a wonderful single mom that when I told people that she worked 3 jobs at one time, no one believes me, but I can honestly say that my Annie, that's what I call her, Annie, my Annie really paved the way for me now. My Aunt Flora did a lot on teaching about lessons of love, and I have a sister that I love so dearly. She is one of my best friends and wonderful, wonderful person. So long story short, I grew up in the projects of Mississippi, Yorkville. And a lot of times people do not want to tell where they're from, and I'm not really sure why that is. You should always be proud of where you're from, no matter where you're from. When you're looking at life, and don't want to preach here, but you know, life is good. And I say that no matter where you may find yourself, it is really, really good. For me, my relationship with Jesus, and you know, oftentimes people don't want you to say that. No, you can say God all day, but if you say Jesus, then she's a Bible thumper. Well, I used to be one of those folks that would say, she's a Bible thumper. But I have learned so many lessons, and that is why I'm here. I don't necessarily need you to feel sorry for me. Oh my God, she was raped, or oh my God, she was homeless, or she really didn't have a good relationship with her father, or she's from a single family home and this and that, and oh my God, she did this and this and that. That's not why I'm here. The purpose, the premise of this show, the Dr. Tongie Show, is not to brag or boast about a title, not to brag about, you know, what I'm doing now or what I'm driving or this or that. No, my friend. The purpose of this is to inspire. It is truly to inspire, to wake that sleeping giant, to tell you that you truly are a spirit. You are, and you just happen to be enclosed in a body, and you've got this thing called a soul, and your soul is always fighting. It's always fighting because it wants to take precedence. It wants to be first. And your body's saying, but what about me? But your spirit It's the spirit of the matter. It's the spirit, our Constitution. And I'll get into that in a later episode or a later show about, where we are really from and why we are here. Now, I can't tell you what your purpose is, but I can tell you that you do have purpose. I can't tell you what you're supposed to do, but I can tell you that you are supposed to do something. I am a mother of 3 children, but I have so many other special babies. I've got Francis and Jamal and Michelle and Ronald and children that I've never even met in parts of Africa. I love, and that's the essence of who I am. I am a spirit, and again, I happen to be enclosed in a body, and I have a soul, and my soul is made up of my mind, my will, and my emotions. There are days when you really got to check your soul because it can be all over the place and make you think that it is your spirit when it's actually your emotions. Get your emotions in check, and I'm reminding myself. Again, the show it's fun. I didn't want to come out of the bag and being religious. And I don't want to offend anyone that may be listening with Bible in tow, but I'm not a religious person, and I got to be open, honest, and sincere here. I was, and I religiously did things, and I would blame God. Isn't that something? I would fail, or I would attempt to do something, and then I'd say with my religious self, well, this must not have been the will of God for my life. But if I am in a relationship with Him, and if you're in a relationship, period, there are certain things that you talk to your partner or your spouse about, and you know his or her voice, and you just know that when you go to him or her, that when you are pregnant with an idea, and you're about to birth something that is so big that you want to make certain that you're in the right time, you're in the right season. You don't want to get ahead of the plan or lag behind. And I'm telling you this because, again, we're open, honest, and sincere here, right? So oftentimes I would find myself just going through the motion. I'd go to church on Sunday. And you couldn't beat me shouting, oh my God, and speaking in tongues, oh my God, oh me? You couldn't beat me doing that and taking my children and they're Mama, we don't want to go, and you gotta go. But why? I don't know why, but you gotta go. And then when the music stopped and it's now time to face life. See, in those walls, and again, I don't want to come off heavy for someone. And if you think I'm being insensitive, that is not what the vein that I'm coming out of. And I want to apologize to you if you think that is not. I'm merely telling you how I got here, because one of the things that I like to conceptualize or like to hear from other people is, how did you get here? So this is my soliloquy of how I got here. And I'd find myself Sunday after Sunday, Sunday after Sunday, but there was no growth. I was just going through the motion. I do more crying than work. And then I realized, and I was taught, that the work is not my job. The work is my purpose. See, when I got in purpose, I didn't miss another step. Now, I am the chief of making mistakes. We're being honest, so I have to tell you this. I have made so many mistakes. Yes, I have. I have done things that I should not have done. I've said things that I should not have said, gone places God knows I shouldn't have gone, acted in a certain way, and was a gossiper and a backbiter, and, borrowed and didn't pay back, accused, and the person wasn't, that I made the accusations against, they were not even guilty. And I was too prideful to go in and say, man, I'm so sorry. Would you forgive me? How can I tell you that we are spirit and we are, enclosed in a body. We have a soul, our minds, will, and emotion, and that we're down here on assignment on this thing called life, and we won't always get it right, but you got to be honest. And you got to be honest with self. You know, there are 2 commandments, okay, for my Bible scholars. 2 commandments after Christ came and he said, okay, this and that, and love the Lord your God with all of your soul, your mind, and your strength, your heart, and love your neighbor as yourself. Again, I'm not here to preach. I'm just not. I'm not a preacher. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not that. But I do know that, you know, we're kind of stuck, you know, here, and we're going to have a really good life, and it becomes even more gratifying, not just self-gratification, but it becomes so gratifying when you can love your neighbor as you do yourself. But if you don't love yourself, how can you love your neighbor, right? And, you know, people will ask, then what is love? Love is not a feeling. It is not an emotional feeling. Love is a responsibility. You have a responsibility when you love. I've got this wonderful woman here with me, and yeah, I'm going to put her on the spot here. She is Jeannie, the producer of the show. Yep, I did. The lady that our lives became intertwined, and I began to tell her, you know, this is what I want to do, and I want to do this, and I want to go and speak, and I want to motivate, and she met me at a coffee shop. Ain't that how it happened?
That's how it happened. You, me, and good old Starbucks.
Sponsorship.
Look, oh, it's coming. It's coming.
And I'm sitting there, and I had met her like a couple of years before, but we were in different areas in our lives, and it wasn't time. And again, you can't rush process. Everything is a process, okay? And when it was time, at the set time, and I'm telling her, this is what I want to do. And here's how our daddy works. He'll send people in your life when you are mature enough to handle. You know, sometimes we will ask for a friend. God, I want a friend. I want a friend that, you know, can you know, like push me and push me to my greatness. No one can push you to your greatness. You're born with it.
You're right. You're right.
We all have the propensity to be great. It's in us. It is so in us that it's just sickening. And I'm telling this woman this, and I'm looking at this lady, and I'm like, she has no idea. I'm sitting on my hands, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm in front of Jeannie. Oh, this Jeannie. And I'm trying to be cool, because if you know me, you know this afro, right? So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yeah. You know, I think I'll hear they're saying vibing. I'm like, vibing? For real? Nate.
Yeah, vibing.
So, and she begins to talk, and if you've ever had the honor and privilege to be in the room with a spirit that is so large but so humble. See, I don't Google people. I'm sorry, I don't believe in that, because I don't believe everything I read. Please don't believe everything you read about me. Please. Some of it I did, some of it I didn't. I'm done with that. I've asked God for forgiveness. I've forgiven me, and prayerfully the person that I may have harmed will forgive me also. But I'm sitting there, and I, again, trying to be cool and collective, and she begins to speak. Jeannie, can you remember the moment when you came in that Starbucks, and I don't know if you could see my spirit or my soul, and I'm just there. What was that like?
Well, for me, like you mentioned, we met before, but it was in crossing, and sometimes you don't know why you're meeting somebody. Will you meet them again? Is there a bigger purpose? And we just don't know. It's a process.
Right.
It's timing. And sometimes you've heard it before, people in your life for seasons. not so long, and some longer or lifelong. But when I met you, I had known, because of our mutual acquaintances, that you were already somebody who was gifted, and your whole mission was to help empower others.
Thank you.
So I'm always comfortable when I'm around people like that, because that is in my opinion, our true destiny, and that's how other things and blessings, manifest. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
It's the smallest
Absolutely.
Conversations
Absolutely.
or introductions that turn into mighty works.
Uh-huh.
And so when I met you, I already knew what I was, communicating about and who, but I had no idea that you were ready to step into your multimedia movement. And so I said, oh, this is my kind of girl. It's time to go. So then I was even more comfortable, because I said, she's in go mode and go season. And so, like I said, me being a track and field runner and a ballerina, that's all I know is that finish line. And my question is, how soon do you want to get there?
Yep.
That's the only question I have for you. How much are you ready for?
Yep.
And so you told me you were, and here you are. And like I said, this is just the beginning of so many things. Speaking engagements, your radio, television, and speaking engagements. So I was very clear what our conversation was about. I didn't know it was going to happen as quickly, but our energies together, they intertwined. And it's nothing like being in a room. You don't, like I always tell people, it's not about being on a big soapbox or having this big organization or people. It can be two people and completely take over, and that's what has happened.
Amen.
Didn't
I tell you? Didn't I tell you? We're at 323-203-0815. But before you call, I want to personally thank you so very much for taking a chance on me.
Absolutely.
If Ty is listening, she knows that when I call her and I'm like, Ty, Jenny wants me to post. Ty, Jenny wants me to do. Ty. She's like, good for you.
Yep, you got to roll. It's the Dr.
Oh my
Tongie
God.
Show. I said,
Oh
you
my
don't know.
God.
You don't know. And then also, I want to remind everybody to stay super interactive on Dr. Tongie's Instagram at Dr. Tongie Show. And that's DrTongieshow, because you have so much you're going to share and empower, and talking directly to you, to all of the questions that you have, with so much that you're going to be covering.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Wow. Well, guys, not to bore you to tears, but again, this is the very first show in what I hope and believe and pray that will be many, many more shows. It's exciting. It's work. And that's kind of what greatness is. You got to be ready. And like Jeannie said, I didn't think it would happen this fast. When time meets opportunity, be ready. If you have to get ready, you really are, you're behind. Be ready. Don't get ready. Be ready. Again, the number is 323-203-0815. Facebook, or it's at Dr. Tongie Show, Tongie. I'd love to hear from you. If I don't get an opportunity to answer any questions or what have you while we're on the air, just know that I do take those very serious, and we'll definitely get back with you for any kind of answer. It is exciting. It is rewarding. It is challenging, but it is definitely destiny. Just to give you some eyes again, first show, introduction to you about who I am, and I do hope that you will come along for the journey. Okay, what is this show about? The show is about kingdom principles. I alluded to saying or hoping that I wasn't stepping on anyone's toes when I said that it is not a religious show. It is a show to empower. It is a show to motivate. It is a show to make certain that you are living the life that you are supposed to live. I don't want to make you feel good, because in any instance of feeling good, there is, again, the propensity to feel bad. I want you to be constant. I don't deal in ebbs and flows. I truly deal in kingdom principles. These are principles that have honestly just 180 degreed my life around. You hear people when they're talking about, well, God really is the head of my life. That really is true. That for me, that is true. But that is not without me trying to get ahead of him and making just terrible, terrible mistakes. It's a show to teach you to have an audience of one, and that audience is him. I don't want you to get really akin to if people like what I'm saying, or if people like what I'm doing, or will they support me, because your life is already where it is supposed to be. Your life really is finished. And if you really are a scholar, you know that the end of your life was really, really before your beginning. So you don't have to try to figure things out. We're here together. We're going to go on this journey together. We're going to learn principles that you can put in your life and apply them to your life. And I guarantee, and that is a strong connotation, it's a strong word to say, you guarantee, but I guarantee these principles will work. It doesn't matter where you've come from. It doesn't matter where you were born. It doesn't matter what you're driving or where you're living or what your bank account looks like. None of that matters. What matters is really, what did you do with the time that you were given? And I think that the worst thing in life is to get to the end of your life and to have all of these accolades bestowed upon you, and to have award after award, and maybe even a street named, for you, or just people are showering you, and then stand before God and he says, you did everything that you wanted to do, and you didn't do what I told you to do. You didn't seek me for your purpose. Depart from me. Ouch. Can you imagine what that would feel like? No, you cannot. We don't even want to imagine that. So wherever you are, whatever you want to do in life, I want to reassure you that if that is the will of God for your life, there is absolutely nothing and no one that can stop you. How do I know? Because I'm living that. I am living that every day of my life. I am so very, very blessed, to have a family. And when I talk about them, because we don't choose our families, guys. They're given to us. They're a gift. And we don't always like our families. But because we come from love, we've got to love them. We've got to. I am so blessed to have a family that when I tell my family that I want to move to California, and they said to me, okay. And I wake up every morning and I get to see them, and I get to love on my grandchildren. And I have a wonderful, absolutely amazing, fantastic God. Thank you for such a wonderful husband that is very patient and very kind and very supportive. And I am, if today, if this was my absolute last day on the earth, if at 11:59 tonight, time was up for me, I pray it's not, but if it is, I can honestly say that I have had a good life. I'm not concerned about all of the negative or all the bad that was done or that I did. But I am concerned, are you pleased with what I've done? Have I done what you've asked me to do?
Dr. Tongie,
yes.
You have an email that just came in from Pam in Los Angeles, and
okay.
Here's what she's asking you.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. This is Dear Dr. Tongie. I've been working at my job for 5 years, but feel so unfulfilled and want to make a change, but I'm afraid. Any suggestions on steps to take? Ooh, well.
It's a loaded one.
Yes, it is.
How much time you got?
I know, right? First, what's her name again? I'm sorry. Pam, thank you so very much for taking the time, and that is something that we do not create, is time. And you took something that is so very valuable, more valuable than you'll really ever know, to call in or write in and ask that question. I too were on a job or several jobs before going, into the profession, and I can honestly say this: I would liken your assignment, your job, as an assignment. And that particular assignment is very valuable for you because there is something, there is someone, there's a reason why you're there, okay? And 5 years, yeah, that's a long time, right? 60 months. Start where you are with gratitude every day. And I know this sounds real simple. It does. Oh, my God, what do you mean? I am grateful. Hey, I work, I get paid, I'm grateful. Well, attitude is everything right now in this particular assignment for your life, because God will, and I don't know what your relationship with him, and you'll hear me throughout the show reference him a lot. He is my daddy, so he's very, very important to me. If there is a relationship there, then you've got to trust not only him, but you got to trust yourself in this. And you must, by all means, trust the process. Now, I would ask you, what is it that you like to do? Question number 1. 2, I would say, get a journal, get a book, get sheets of paper and staple them together, and get your pen or pencil in hand and write what it is that you would do if money was no object. Okay? If I tell you, let me tell you this. Okay, Pam, I'm going to give you $1 million this week. Okay? You'll have $1 million. You and I are going to dialogue, and I'm going to put $1 million in your account on Friday. The only thing I want you to do, Pam, is lose yourself where you are. I want you to lose yourself. I want you to, you've got $1 million on Friday, okay? And it'll be every Friday for the rest of your life. All right, now you're empowered, right? I got your attention. What is it that you would do with that $1 million every week? That leads into your days. Write it down. How does that feel? What does it feel to know that all of your bills are met, all of your needs are met, your family's good, your family's safe, your friends, even your enemies are getting along? What does that feel like? Now, I want you to ask for peace. Today, I'm going to ask for peace. Today, I'm going to be a representation of what I want in my life. I want peace in my life. I want joy. I want to be understood. These are things that you're writing down. And what you'll find yourself is that you'll be so focused on making every single day, every single moment in your life so enjoyable that the assignment 1 will pass by really, really fast. 2, you'll start living from the inside out, and you won't be confused or dismayed by or disappointed by what you're seeing. Stay there. Get a plan in place. Write the vision. Offer that vision up to God or whoever your creator or whoever you believe in or whatever you're believing in, because we have to believe in something so much bigger than ourselves. Again, I'm not here to browbeat you into believing in God or believing in Christ. That's not what I'm doing. But I do want you to start to live now. So you're writing that vision. You're offering it up to him. For me, it's him. And then you're allowing him to break it and you. And every day for the rest of your life, you'll live a life of gratitude. And you will find that as you're writing, there will be an idea that's burning that'll keep you up at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're thinking that you've got to go and get water or you've got to go and use the bathroom, when it's really him saying, come, I've got something for you. And don't worry about the money. The money will come. How do I know? Because it came from me. I was sitting at a job. It was right before I had cancer. I knew that I didn't want to go back to working. And I wrote a plan of having a nanny service. Can you believe in 1994, a nanny service? Are you crazy, God? That's my question. Really? A nanny service? And I'm thinking, and I'm writing this down. So I go to the bank. It all ties in, Pam, I promise you. I go to the bank and I present this soliloquy of a plan, a business plan. And the banker laughed at me. And he said, that is a wonderful idea. It won't work, but good luck. And that was my first time ever having someone laugh in my face and say, oh, okay. But I didn't believe it. Because when I was 10 years old and I'm living in the projects, and I ran to my mom one day and I asked her, do you think I could be a medical doctor? And her answer to me was, do you believe in God? And my answer to her was, yes, ma'am. And she said, well, Pootie, and she called me Pootie lovingly. You can do anything you put your mind to. And that's what I believe. And that's what I teach my children. Well, my adults. You can do anything you put your mind to. You have faith in him and you have faith in yourself. So, Pam, I am going to be checking in on you. That is my commitment to you. I will commit to my level of commitment. I want to see you win. I want to see you live your best life. I want to see you living life so phenomenally rich that you're a blessing to people everywhere you go.
And Dr. Tongie, you got a DM on your Instagram at Dr. Tongie Show. Now, this is Timothy in Atlanta, where you also lived.
Yeah.
It says, Dr. Tongie, my wife has somehow lost her motivation and feeling of self-worth. I love her, but it's beginning to be unattractive. I've complimented her and told her otherwise. Nothing seems to be working. Any advice on anything else I can do?
Absolutely. First, Timothy, thank you. Thank you so very much for DMing me. I am going to learn the powers of social media. I promise you. Thank you so much. And to your wife and to the situation that you find yourself precariously in, don't give up. Again, love is a responsibility. It is not a feeling. And just as we fall in love with people, we do fall out of love. So I would say throw all of that away, that feeling. I would say let her know that she can trust you, because it's called growing. We call it being in an uncomfortable position, and it's waning and it's waxing, but it's really growth. And what I love about marriage is that marriage is such a commitment. It's the very first ordination that was done in the Garden of Eden. Again, this is my background, so this is the only soliloquy that I can. The parallel is for me a man and a woman being married, and I'm not against anyone else saying, well, we've got rights. No, I'm not here for that. I love you so very much. That's not our show. That's not the basis of the show. But Tim, you have an opportunity right now to really, really make your marriage so lasting. It comes with the trust. It comes with the support. And it comes with so much prayer that it's mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. When you agree, Jeannie, it is so mind-blowing. I, again, can surmise in saying that I was at a point in my life where I, too, wanted to kind of give up on my marriage. I did not want it. I said, nope, I'm done. I've gone as far as I can go. And it's really scary because I didn't want to be alone, but I didn't want to be where I was. And yeah, I had people praying, but my daughter, who became my best friend, one of my best friends, began to pray for me and pray for my marriage. And I got out of the way, Tim. That's what I did. Get out of the way. Love her right where she is, not where you want her to be. That's what she's in need of, but oftentimes when we're in our soulish part, we don't know how to tell you that I'm hurting and I don't want you to hurt, but I am hurting and I want this hurting to stop. That's when our husbands, our partners, our wives grab us by the hand and say, you know what? Let's pray. So yeah, I tell you, pray. Thank him for your patience. Thank him for the outcome. Thank him that it's already done. And see your marriage as already done. It's perfect. And that perfection is maturity. It has nothing to do with flaws or not making mistakes. No, that's not perfection. Perfection is maturity. Be mature in this situation. Anybody can divorce. Anybody can throw their hands up. I've been divorced before, and now my ex-husband and his beautiful wife, we're all really good friends, and I pray you guys are listening. Doris and Terry, I love you. I love you so, so very much, and you guys are the epitome of what friends really are. Thank you so much for being my sister friend. Thank you for being such a great father. Thank you, Tim, for DMing me, and I hope I've shed some light, but in all essence, pray with her and for her. And let her know that everything is going to be fine. And you are too, because you're going to get out of the way. Amen.
Wow, that's amazing. Be part of that minority of people who can have the blended families and it work out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
Okay.
It hasn't always been like that.
I'm about to say.
I grew.
We need to do a whole show just on that. No, real talk.
Real talk. Okay. Hey, Doris, Terry, you guys get ready, all right?
Yeah, he's definitely going to be a special guest on the show because those are the type of things that are needed because that's the multiplexes of life and lifestyles that we live. So
absolutely.
They're needed. And I guess, too, it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah. But we got to make it work.
But you do have
we
to.
Have to. We have to.
And it seems like when it does work out, it's huge.
It is.
You know, out of all the people I know, I only know you and somebody else when it works out. It's like, okay. And then some people in Hollywood, but I only know two.
Yeah.
Or it starts out okay,
yeah.
and then not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah.
You know, but
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Glory be to God.
Have mercy.
Man, we're having a wonderful time. Again, if you're joining us, this is the Dr. Tongie Show. My friends know me by Tongie. The ones that don't know me by Doctor. I'd like for you to get to know me. You don't necessarily have to like me. That would be wonderful. But you do have to love me, and I gotta love you. But it's so important that I like you. Very, very important. And we'll talk about loving and liking, because liking is just, it is a choice. When you love someone, it's not a choice, because that is what you are. You are love. You come from love. You can't help but love. But when you like someone, you're genuinely interested in that person. You know, what's going on with them? Is there anything I can do for you? Are you having a good day? You know, I'm just thinking about you, and let's put our phones down with the texting and, you know, every now and again. And I'm talking to myself. Yeah, I am. And if you could see my feet, I'm saying ouch, because I am stepping on my own toes. Every now and again, reach out to someone, especially that strong person, man, that person that we've got a saying back in Mississippi, just prayed you through some things, you know. Reach out to them and let them know that you really do care about them. So for all of you that are listening, and for the critics out there, it's okay. You know, you guys are going to say what you're going to say, and that's okay. It's all right. But for the ones who really are tuning in, let's learn from one another. There are a few people that can pull my coattail and say, listen, you've been out of character. Get you someone that can be your accountability friend. Someone that you can be open, honest, and sincere, and just be unashamed and be naked in front of, literally, symbiotically, and allow that person to tell you, you're acting out of character, and vice versa. That does make life a lot better. It makes it worth living. Again, the number is 323-203-0815.
So to call in is 323-203-0815, the Dr. Tongie Show. Let me ask you, Doctor, what steps did you make when deciding to step out of your comfort zone? I think with so many images and decisions we're bombarded with in the world we live in now, it's easy to get misled, to be confused. At what time or what process do you use to determine when to step into another direction of your greatness?
Wow, lady. Jeez.
Like, whose show is this?
I know, right? No. I'm bowing, lady. I bow to the God in you. It was, the processes for me, honestly. 2009, I was introduced to a gentleman that I never met, that I was going to do his staffing for home care, for assisted living facility in California. And the gentleman that teaches me Kingdom Principles now, Mr. Apostle Ronald Davis, said, Doc, I need you to meet this guy. He's incredible, and the contract will be substantial for you. So I'm thinking, okay, all right, absolutely. So this guy and I were talking by way of phone, by way of email, and it was something that he said, Jeannie, that just blew my mind. Because all of my life, I thought the poor, P-O-O-R-E-R, you were the more blessed, the more religious, the more God listened to you, and I just thought, well, okay. But when I was speaking with Mr. Barnes, he said, oh no, there's work that you have to do. And I'm thinking, work, I'll just place caregivers in the assisted living facility and make a couple of $1 million, that's work, And he was like, no, there's a responsibility that you have. You have got to get into your purpose here now. Long story short, I started texting and he was motivating me, and I'm feeling really good. And I'm going in this direction of religiosity. And he was trying to show me kingdomosity. And then I get a phone call, or the absence of a phone call. And I'm texting and I'm calling and I'm emailing, and he didn't respond. And I've said I call him my Lord. He's Abraham and I'm Sarah. I said to Stace, I said, hey, this guy's not responding to me. So Barnes's wife called me in her beautiful Filipino dialect, and I'm not going to do it because I would probably be thrown out of here, and my son Morgan would call me and say, are you serious, Ma? So she called and said he is in ICU, that his kidneys and everything is shutting down. And I'm thinking, no, I've got a $2 million deal on the table, lady. No, Learning to be a wife, I knew that my husband, because he is the head and not me, I went to him and I asked him, I need you to tell me that I can go to California and, go out there and see what's going on. And he said, well, did you pray? And I'm thinking, no, I ain't pray. I mean, I want you to buy the ticket so I can go to California and see what's going on. Right. So he said, pray about it, honey. Whatever God says, you've got my stamp of approval. Prayed about it. And God says, 7-day fast. I'm thinking, no, Daddy, I'm about to go to California. If you give me permission to go, I want to eat it. Went on a fast. And for 9 hours, I get out here to L.A. And for 9 hours a day, 7 days a week, I'm standing at this guy's bed and I'm praying. 9 hours just praying, going through the scriptures, declaring promises. Your word, this, God, and above your name is your word. So I knew you would hear me because it's above your name. You got to hear me. Even an atheist can pray that prayer or use kingdom principles, and he has to do it. And the wife says, "Oh, we go to lunch." And I'm thinking, well, I didn't really come for lunch. I came to pray for your husband. But she takes me to Santa Monica, and we're sitting on the beach, and we are having a picnic. And I began to cry. And then she says, "Well, why are you crying?" I said, "Because you don't have to entertain me. I'm not here for this." She says, "Oh, no, this is how I live." And I said, "This is how you live?" Then she takes me to the Hollywood sign, and then we go hiking, and I'm just beyond myself. And I said, "I want that." And Ty says, "Have you noticed whenever you go," because I made the trip a couple of times, she said, "whenever you come back, you are just a totally different person." And I began to ask God, I said, "Dad, can I move?" Now, you're talking to a sister that started a business, went broke, got back up, went broke, got back up, went broke, got sued 17 times, got written up, got this. And I'm thinking, oh, dear God. But when I came here, I said, whoa, I don't know what it's going to take for me to get out there, but I got to get to California. And I got my accountability partner, my daughter. And I said, "Ty, I got to go. I don't know how." So here's the thing. You said, how do you know when to change directions? My premise was, I'll buy an assisted living facility. The moral of the story, Mr. Barnes passed away. His wife and I became really, really good friends. I'll just buy a facility. And I'll do it that way. And I won't struggle, because I've struggled. I don't want to do that no more. I don't want the repo man coming to my house anymore. I don't want to be in foreclosure anymore. I don't want to go through bankruptcy anymore. I don't want people laughing at me anymore. And if this God is who he say he is, that my grandmama talked about, that my mama fell in love with and grew to love, that I was teaching my children, then I got to trust him. And that was the very hardest thing for me, the very hardest. That was very, very hard, because in that trusting, I had to be broken. I had to know what it felt like to be homeless. I had to know what it felt like to not know where you're going to get your next meal from. I had to know what it felt like to tell my babies, I ain't quitting. But you're a doctor. You ain't got to go through that, Dr. Tongie. Yes, you do. Because I don't own me anymore. I'm his. Mm-hmm. And if that's what I got to do, to be in a place where it looked like I'm going to die, it looked like people are going to talk about me and laugh at me and call me crazy. If that's what I got to do, then guess what? I'm out.
And you doing it.
Who? But God. Oh.
You in LA on LA Talk Radio, the Dr. Tongie Show. I mean,
man,
how did you get here?
How did I get here? You'll see these tears.
Absolutely. I mean, that's amazing testimony.
Oh.
You can take that content and just apply it to however it works for you. You know? Oh, incredible. What a first show. I mean, where do you go from here? That's
This is the ground, guys.
This is the beginning. Oh, look, and this is our launching pad for the tour that I also see for you.
Oh, wow.
So that's amazing. So, I mean, congratulations on your first show.
Jeannie. Thank you so
many
very
to come. Every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific time, and the good old East Coast, 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Amazing. And so don't forget, everybody, stay interactive. Dr. Tongie, I know you've been answering questions, communicating about things that are going on at Dr. Tongie Show, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yes, absolutely. I'm learning the social thing, guys. I want to apologize because I messed up on the date. I messed up on the time. I got to get off of here, out of here. But thank you so very much for allowing me to be open, honest, and sincere. And I'll put this disclaimer out here before I get kicked out of this station. I love you so very much. I love you because wherever you are right now, you're going to be all right. Whether you're about to sign a $10 million deal or whether you're about to pack up and move to a hotel, I've been there. Whether you're about to face the eviction or the repo man, whether you're about to go in and buy groceries for everybody, I've been there too. We're going to be all right, and you're going to be all right. I love you so very much. Thank you for listening. God bless you, bless you. Tune in again next Wednesday at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard, and it's at 4 o'clock Central. Yeah, I've got some Central listeners. God bless you. I love you. Bye.
Bye. Congrats, Dr. Tongie.
Thank you.